to our mathematics lesson. I am Skulile Ngube, and this lesson is proudly brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education. Greetings. I really hope you're fine. It's cold today, but we have to do what we have to do, isn't it? Right, today we're going to learn analytical geometry, and we're going to concentrate on the midpoint and length of a line segment. Midpoint of a line segment and the length of the line segment. That's what we're going to do today. I really hope that you're ready for the lesson. Make sure that you have your pen, your book, your pencil, the things that you need for the lesson, and let's start our lesson. Okay, right, what we're going to learn today, we're going to, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to represent geometric figures on a Cartesian plane and apply the formula of calculating distance between 2 points and the midpoint of a line segment. That's what we're going to do in this lesson. And then in the previous grades and also some of our previous lessons in grade 10, we have done the Pythagoras theorem. Do you remember the Pythagoras theorem? I'll remind you. And then the mean under statistics. How do we find the average? We're going to use that in this lesson. And then coordinate geometry in general, we are going to use what we have learned in these topics in today's lesson. Right. And then before we start our baseline, I really hope today we're going to engage each other, grade 10s. Our WhatsApp line is 063 629 3655. 063 629 3655. Let's engage each other during the lesson and let's interact. There's something you do not understand, make sure you ask the question. If I'm moving fast, also tell me, say I'm a bit lost, please slow down. I will do that, okay? We want everyone to benefit from the lesson. Okay, right. Let's do our baseline activity. Given triangle ABC, usually we name anti-clockwise ABC. Don't worry about the vertices there. I did that on purpose. Right, given the triangle ABC and that BC is 4 units, it should be AC, not BC, right? AC is 4 units, and then BC is 3 units, okay? Right, correct that. Given triangle ABC and that BC, and that AC is 4 units and BC is 3 units, determine the length of AB. Let's try to do that for 5 minutes. Let's try. But welcome back, grade 10th. So let's find the length of AB, which is the hypotenuse. And we're going to use the Pythagoras theorem. What does the Pythagoras theorem say? The hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So now we're saying AB, which is the hypotenuse squared, is equal to AC squared plus BC squared. And then we substitute into the theorem there. And then what we do, we can find what 4 squared plus 3 squared is, which is 16 plus 9, which is 25, isn't it? But you can even put it in your calculator like this, and then you get that AB is 5 units. Okay, let's mark our work. Statement, reason, then substituting correctly, and then the answer there. Okay, right. Now, I want us to look at the distance formula. I want us to discuss, where is this distance formula coming from? Please pay attention, then I'm going to give you time to write notes. Right. If you check, let's go back a bit. I've used this triangle to do our small investigation. It's still the same triangle. Do you see that? Okay. But now we are concentrating on AB. We are just concentrating on AB because we're going to be looking at the distance or finding the distance of a line segment. So we're looking at AB. And then I want you to look at this distance formula. Please just listen for now. I'll give you time to write your notes. Right, so this is the distance formula. XB, what is that? That is the x coordinate of B. Okay? XA, that is the x coordinate of A. YB, that's the y coordinate of B. And then YA, that is y coordinate of A. Do you see that we are not using the coordinates of C? We are not using the coordinates of C, we are using the coordinates of A and B only. How do we do that? Because the Pythagoras theorem, from the Pythagoras theorem, it should be AC squared plus BC squared. So it means the coordinates of C must be involved somehow. Okay? Right. So I want us to link the distance formula and the Pythagoras theorem, because the distance formula comes from the Pythagoras theorem. Okay? Right. Now, AC, if you check, AC will be 7 minus 3. This 7 minus 3. So the x coordinate of C is just the same as the x coordinate of B. You see that? So that's why here we have the x coordinate of B instead of the x coordinate of C. Because the x coordinate of C and the x coordinate of B are just the same. Okay, so that's why we have xb minus, and then 3 is xa. Okay, you see that? So the distance formula comes from the Pythagoras theorem, and then plus we come to 5 here. BC is the vertical change in y. So YB is this one, the 5, and then YC is the 2. So here we have YB, and then the 2. If you check this 2, it's just the same as the 2 for what? The y coordinate of A. So instead of using the y coordinate of C, we can use the y coordinate of A. So we say minus the y coordinate of A. Do you see that? So we can just concentrate on the line segment. We can just concentrate on the line segment and use the distance formula. We don't need to create a right angle triangle and use the Pythagoras theorem. No. Once you get a line segment, we have 2 points at the end of that line segment, then you can easily find the distance by using the distance formula, which is coming from or derived from what? From the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, Right, so I really hope you've understood where the distance formula is coming from. I don't want you to write a lot of things. What I want you to write is, okay, this one is just to show you that we're doing the same thing, like the baseline is fine. What I want you to write is this. Write this. I'm going to give you 1 minute. The distance formula is, this is the distance formula, where the 2 points joining the line segments are A and B. You can also write it like this. AB squared is equal to XA minus XB minus XA, but still fine. You can say XA minus XB is still okay. And then YA minus YB, still okay. Then, yeah. Okay, please write this. Let me give you 1 minute to do that. 1 minute. Right, welcome back, greetings. Welcome back. I really hope you managed to write your notes, please. Your input, send your input to 063 629 3655. Let's do an example, okay, to find what? The length of a line segment. Given the points A and B, determine the length of the line segment AB. Okay, what you say the formula is, distance formula, AB is going to be the square root of XB minus XA squared plus YB minus YA squared. Please write the formula down. Write the formula. Write the formula. Copy the formula. Right. Sometimes it gives me problems. Some people are very good in identifying which one is XB, which one is XA, which one is YB, which one is YA. Let's write this thing like 3. 3 is XA, the X coordinate of A. Then negative 2 is the Y coordinate of A. Can even do that. And then negative 5 is the X coordinate of B. And then 4 is the Y coordinate of B. You see that? So that we don't make a mistake, great, we cannot lose marks on this thing. This is easy. This is easy. Distance formula, substitute correctly, and then use your calculator and get your answer. Okay, right, let's not make mistakes. Now, and then we do our substitution. Where there's XB, we put negative 2. Where there's XA, we put, you see, I'm making a mistake now. Where there's XB, we put negative 5. Where there's XA, we put 3. And then where there's YB, we put 4. Where there's YA, we put negative 2. And then your substitution will be like this. Be careful with negative 2. Do you see that I'm putting it in the bracket? Okay, especially if it's negative, make sure you put it in the bracket. So it's going to be here. You can simplify this. This is negative 8 squared. Negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. And then this becomes 4 plus 2, which is 6 squared. And it becomes 6 squared. Then you can put this in the calculator, and then you get your 10 units. So AB is 10 units. Let's copy this just for 30 seconds. Right, good. Now here I want to show you that the order in which you put your coordinates does not matter. If you check here, we said xb minus xa, but here I've said xa minus xb. Are we going to get different answers? And then here I'm saying ya minus yb instead of yb minus ya. Are we going to get different answers? We will get same answers, okay? Just maintain the order. If it's xa minus xb, then it must be ya minus yb. If it's xb minus if it's xb minus xa, then it must be also yb minus ya. Okay, then you do your substitution. ab is equal to, and then xa is 3 minus xb, so it's minus negative 5, then plus Pythagoras theorem, plus, because there's a mistake, some people use minus here, okay? It's plus, should be plus. Remember that from the Pythagoras theorem. And then ya is negative 2, and then yb is negative 4, okay? And then what will this bracket give us? Positive 8. So it's going to be, let me try to use it here. AB is going to be square root of 8 squared, then plus negative 6 squared. And then 8 squared is still 64. And then negative 6 squared is still what? It's still 36. So you get AB is the square root of 100. And then we take 10, positive 10, because this is the distance length. So we take the positive answer. So AB is equal to 10 units. Remember, a square root will give you two numbers, negative and positive. So you take positive because this is what? Distance. We're talking about distance. Okay? Right. So the order in which you put your coordinates does not matter, but make sure that if you say xa minus xb, you must say ya minus yb. xb minus xa, yb minus ya. Okay? Right. Now I think you can manage to do a short activity. Let's try to do that. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do it. It's the first one, so it's fine. 5 minutes. Let's try. Welcome back, grade 10s. I really hope you managed to get the correct answer. Was it difficult? No, it's not difficult, grade 10s. You just have to have your correct formula, the distance formula, and then it should be like this. Or even if you said xc minus xd squared, underneath the square root sign, if you said xc minus xd squared, then plus yc minus yd squared, is still okay. Okay, we're going to get the same answer at the end. Right, so don't change your formula now because you're seeing my formula is still okay, but make sure that you do the correct calculations. We must get the same answers. Right, now like I said, I'll just write first here. This is xc, this is yc, this is xd, this is yd. Okay, now I'll do the substitution. Where there's xd, we put -3. Where there's xc, we put 4. And then where there's yd, we put -8. And then where there's yc, we put 10. And then our substitution should be like this. Okay, right? And then you can simplify that and then put in the calculator. What do you get? We get that AB is the square root of 373. I said leave your answer in set form. If they say decimal places, then your calculator, they can press this SD there, you press that. It will convert this fraction to, it will convert this set form to a decimal. Okay? That is that on the distance formula. The other question that we may get mainly application, but this is the distance formula. I want us now to move to the midpoint formula. Midpoint formula. What is midpoint? Not midpoint theorem. Remember in the previous lesson we did midpoint theorem. Now we're talking about the midpoint of a line segment. The midpoint of a line segment. Right. The midpoint of a line segment is the halfway mark on a line segment. Again, let's use this approach of trying to investigate. Let's see. Now, write down the coordinates of M. Do you see line segment AB? And then there's point M there. Use the squares there. This is like 5. This is like 4 there. So what are the coordinates of M there? Using the Cartesian plane that is given, or the x-axis and the y-axis. What are the coordinates of M? The x-coordinate of M is what? 5, isn't it? 5. And then the y-coordinate of M is 4. Okay? Right. Calculate xa plus xb divided by 2. Let's do this part. Let's try to do that. Calculate xa plus xb divided by 2. What do you get? Xa is what? 2, ne? 2 plus xb. xb is 8. So it's 8 divided by 2. 2 plus 2 is what? 2 plus 8 is what? Is 10. Then 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5. Okay? Okay, we'll answer this part later. Let's go to ya plus yb divided by 2. Y coordinate of A, what is it? The y coordinate of A is 4. Plus the y coordinate of B is still 4. Remember this, let me write them here. This is 8, 4. This is 2, 4. Okay. Now, the y coordinate of B is 4. So what is 4 plus 4 divided by 2? That is 4. Now, what do you observe? What do you observe? The average. Remember I said we're going to use statistics today. The average, the mean of the x coordinates. Remember what? How do you find the mean? We add the data items and then divide by the number of those data items, isn't it? So we're adding two things here, the x coordinate of A and the x coordinate of B, and then dividing by 2. So the mean or the average of the x coordinates will give you the x coordinate of the midpoint. Okay? The average of the x coordinates will give you the x coordinate of the midpoint. And then the average of the y coordinates. What do they give you? What does it give you? The average of the y coordinate. It gives you the y coordinate of the midpoint. Someone may say, oh, it's because this line is horizontal. Let's see if maybe it's not horizontal. Let's say a line like that. Will it still be like that, where the average of the x coordinate will give us the x coordinate of the midpoint, and the average of the y coordinate will give us the y coordinate of the midpoint? Let's see. Right. Here, this is M is 4, 4. Then B, this is 6. And then 6, 6. Then A is 2, 2. Let's see. Now, so the coordinates of M is 4, 4. Right, and then calculate the XA plus XB divided by 2. We say P6 plus 2, 6 plus 2 divided by 2, which is 8 divided by 2 is 4. See that? It's giving us that. And then, again, it's question, the numbers are just the same. This one now and this one, 6 plus 2, which is equal to 4. Again, it's giving us what? The y coordinate of what? Of the midpoint. So now, how do we find the coordinates of the midpoint? Find the average of the x coordinates, add them, divide by 2. And then find the average of the y coordinates, just add them and divide by 2. Okay? Right. So we're just discussing here. Let's write our notes. I want you to write this. So the midpoint formula is, this is the midpoint formula. You see, the x coordinate of the midpoint, the y coordinate of the midpoint. That's how you find it. Where the 2 points joining the line segment are A and B, you can even work with these x coordinates and y coordinates separately. You have the x coordinate of what? Of the midpoint, and also have the y coordinate of the midpoint separately. Let me give you 2 minutes to write your notes. Right, welcome back, Cretans. Right, now let's do an example, and then after the example, we'll do a short activity, just similar to this. Now, determine the midpoint of line AB if A is the point 5, 6, and then B is the point there with -3 and -2. Right, so this is XA, this is YA, and this is XB, and then YB. Right, now I have to find the average of the x coordinates, XA plus XB divided by 2. then YA plus YB divided by 2. Okay, let's do that. So it's XA plus XB divided by 2. It will give us the X coordinate of the midpoint. And then YA plus YB divided by 2 will give us the Y coordinate of the midpoint. Then just substitute into this formula. That's the midpoint formula. And then we substitute. What is 5 plus negative 3? That's 2, isn't it? 2 over 2 there. Then 6 plus negative 2, that's 4. So we have 2 over 2 and 4 over 2, which is 1 and 2. So these are the coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, 1 minute for you to write notes, and then after that, after writing your notes, we're going to do a short activity. Let's write our notes for 1 minute. Welcome back, returns. I really hope you managed to write your notes for the 1 minute that I gave you. It's still quiet. I haven't managed to get any input from you. Any questions? Remember WhatsApp line 063 629 3655. Please, let's engage each other. If there are any questions, please do ask. Right, now it's the time for us to do an activity, a short one. I think 3 minutes will be fine for this. Let's do this activity for 3 minutes. Right, welcome back to tens. Let's see how we do this. Right, this is XA, XB, what am I doing? YB, YA, sorry, YA. Right, this is XA. Then XB, YB, okay? Right, and then so we're going to find the average of the x coordinates, XA plus XB divided by 2, and then YA plus YB divided by 2. Right, what do we get? We get a formula like this, and then we substitute what we have. -5 plus -1 divided by 2, that is for the x coordinate, and then 6 plus 2 divided by 2, that is for the y coordinate. And then we get that the midpoint is -3, 4. Those are the x coordinate and y coordinate for the midpoint. Okay, right. Now let's do one more example on the midpoint, and then after that I'm going to give you a question to what you're going to cover in the example. Okay, right, let's do that. Let's go to the next example. Right, determine the coordinates of B if A is the midpoint to 7 and the coordinates of the midpoint AB are 6, 4. Check here. We are given the coordinates of the midpoint. Now we need to find the coordinates of B. What do we do? Does the formula change? No, the formula does not change. We are still finding the average of the x coordinates to give us the x coordinate of the midpoint. Then the average of the y coordinates to give us the y coordinate of the midpoint. So we're going to say these 2 plus the xb divided by 2 must give us what? Must give us the x coordinate of the midpoint, which is 4. So 2 plus xb divided by 2 must give us 4. Right. Even, let me try to change color. Even 7 plus yb, 7 plus yb divided by 2 must give us, it's only that the 4 is just the same there, but it's fine, must give us that 4 for the y coordinate of the midpoint. You see that? So the formula does not change. We substitute into the same formula, the midpoint formula, and then we solve for the unknown. Okay, let's do that. Right, so we have for the x coordinate and for the y coordinate. Remember I said you can separate them if you want. Right, and then let's substitute what we have substituted there. 2 plus xb must give us 4, the x coordinate of the midpoint, and then 7 plus yb must give us 4, the y coordinate of the midpoint. And then what do? We know how to solve equations involving algebraic fractions. What do? We have to multiply both sides by 2. We say times 2 here, then times 2 there. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So what do we remain with? I'm going to write after doing this side. So again here, times 2 here, times 2 here. Right. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we remain with 8 is equal to 2 plus xp, and then this side 8 is equal to 7 plus xp. Okay? And then what we do, let's solve for yp. Let's solve for xp and yp. What is 8 minus 2? We subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. What is 8 minus 7? We subtract 7 from both sides of the equation. So it means xp is 6 and then yb is 1. So the coordinates of b are actually, b is 2. The x coordinate is 6 and the y coordinate is 1. Okay? Right. I want us to try the next one, and then we're going to mark our work. Then after that, we'll go almost to our homework and summarize the lesson. Let's go to the next question. I want you to try it in 3 minutes. Let's try. Right, welcome back, grade 10s. Please try to write or do your corrections as I explain, okay? Right, let's try to mark our work. Does the formula change for the midpoint? No, it doesn't change. So it's xb plus xa or xa plus xb divided by 2. That must give us 5. Okay, so it means x plus 8 divided by 2 must give us 5. Okay, and then 1 plus y divided by 2 must give us 2. And then we create our two equations and solve for the unknown. Let's substitute into our formula. So we have this formula there, you see that? And then 8 plus xa, xa is the x that we don't know. Okay, is equal to, divided by 2 is equal to 5. And then here yb plus 1, the yb is the one that we don't know. And then plus 1 divided by 2 must give us what? Must give us 2. And then let's solve for xa and yb. What do we do? Right? We multiply by the denominator, the LCD. So you see times 2 this side and then times 2 this side. Then times 2 here, times 2 there. Then 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then what do we remain with? 10 is equal to xa plus 8. And then 4 is equal to yb plus 1. Okay? And then we solve for xa and yb. Okay? We subtract 8 from both sides of the equation, or you transpose 8, becomes 10 minus 8, and then x should be 2. And then here we say 4 minus 1, 4 minus 1, which is what? Which is 3. You see that? Actually the grid, you see the grid? This grid that is there was guiding you, okay? Because you can see that from the grid, but I wanted you to do the calculations, okay? Right, so now it means the coordinates of A will be 2, 1, and then the coordinates of B is 8, 3, okay? Then it's confirming, the grid there is also confirming our answers. Okay, right, now I want us to take a short break, and then after that break we're going to go to our homework part, and then after homework we'll summarize our lesson. Let's take a short break.
The road to success is to commit to yourself. In order for you to become who you want to become as a student, you need to commit to reading your books, to studying, to bettering yourself. I know it's not going to be easy. Actually, no one said it's going to be easy. But if you put in the work, the results will show in your life. Tap into your power. Sometimes you will feel like putting away your books, and not reading as much as you're supposed to be. But I want you to commit, because through commitment, there is infinite power.
Welcome back, grade 10s. I want you to copy the homework. Let me give you 1 minute to copy the homework, and then after that 1 minute, I'll tell you what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, just copy the homework for 1 minute, and then after that, I'll advise you what to do. 1 minute. Right, welcome back, grade 10s. Right, so we've managed to copy our homework. I want us to go back a bit. I have a question that we can cover in 4 minutes. But now in this question, I wanted you to try it. But because of time, the 4 minutes that we have, I will try to explain it slowly. Is that fine? Okay, let's try to do that so that we utilize this time that we have. It's very, very crucial. Let's just go back a bit. Yes, that's the question, a typical examination question. Right, I'll explain this in 4 minutes. Okay, I have to try to be a bit fast, but I'll try to make sure you understand. In the diagram, P is coordinate 74, Q 66, R 03, and S TK are the vertices of the quadrilateral PQRS. I think you can see the diagram there. Okay, the diagram PQRS. I want you to just listen, okay, because you cannot have time to write everything. Calculate the length of PQ, leave your answer in set form. Which formula are you going to use there? Want the length of PQ, which formula are you going to use? The distance formula. Right, if T is the midpoint of QS, determine the coordinates of S. Okay, we are given T, which is the midpoint, want the coordinates of S. So what we do, it's like this, just the last activity that we did. If you check, it's like the last activity that we did. And then determine the coordinates of M, the midpoint of RP. Which formula are we going to use there? The midpoint formula. And then hence, what type of quadrilateral is PQRS? Motivate your answer. Once you see hence, it means use the answers that you've managed to get. So it means you have to use our answers for A, B, or C. You see that? Okay. Most of the time it will be that just it will be C like this. You do C and then hence find. Hence do this. It means use the answer that you just got. Okay? Right. The first one. A. Calculate the length of PQ. So using the distance formula, PQ is this. You see that? We use the distance formula. We are just sitting there listening. Okay? Right. And then we substitute correctly. Make sure you substitute correctly. And then you substitute correctly. Do you see that? And then you put in the calculator. The PQ is the square root of 5. Root 5. That's PQ. Get your 2 marks. You see that? A lot of marks. And then B. B, they said T is the midpoint of QS. So it means let's just sometimes draw these things so that we have a picture of what you're talking about. Then it's the midpoint of QS, T, 7 over 2, 7 over 2. And then they say find the coordinates of S. So it means now if you say 6 plus T divided by 2, we must get 7 over 2. And then 6 plus K divided by 2, we must get what? This 7 over 2. Just like we did in the activity. And then we do that, you see, and then we substitute correctly. This one, they have the same denominators. Do you see that? So we can just take the numerators like that. Because if you multiply by 2, both sides of the equation, the denominators are going to disappear, and then you remain with your numerators. And it's going to be 7 is equal to 6 plus T, and then at the other one, 7 is equal to 6 plus K, and then we solve for T and K. We find that T is equal to 1 and K is equal to 1. Okay? And then C, determine the coordinates of M, the midpoint of RP, then the midpoint of RP, M. What is it? All right, we have the midpoint of QSM, then use the midpoint formula. You see that? Use the midpoint formula, and then we get that the coordinates of M are just the same like the coordinates of T. It means, what does that mean? What is QS and RP? Those are the diagonals of a quadrilateral. And then it means if they have the same midpoint, therefore these diagonals bisect each other. And then that gives us the answer for D. The diagonals bisect each other, therefore PQRS is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram, okay, which is a rectangle. Okay, right. Remember, rectangle is a parallelogram. I really hope that you managed to learn something from this activity. Please continue doing past examination questions. We have done our homework, and then we didn't have a lot of interaction today. And then summary, this is the distance formula that we managed to derive and use, and then this is the midpoint formula that we managed to derive and use. Thank you very much, grade 10s. Let's meet next week. Don't miss the lesson next week. We're going to be looking at the gradients, perpendicular lines, parallel lines. We're going to be enjoying next week. Let's meet next week. Goodbye.